Well, hey there. This is Billy Tarasio from Modern Law Practice, and today we are going to talk about gifts. Gifts for your referral sources, for your employees, and for your best clients. It's that time of year when you really need to be thinking about what am I going to do for my employees and what am I going to do for my referral sources. So, just to get your gears started, I wanted to talk a little bit about what we've done in the past, what I think you should do, and a great place to start. Because this is kind of a large project. So a few years back, I lived in a house with 8 different orange trees in an orange grove. And I didn't have a lot of extra money in my firm. And so one of the things that we would do every year is go get baskets at the dollar store and fill them up with oranges from my orange tree because they're perfectly ripe around Christmas, and then go hand deliver them to our best referral sources and clients. And that was an awesome gift, and people looked forward to it, and it was kind of personal, and it didn't cost me a lot of money. Because you do kind of want to keep budgets in mind when you're looking at gifts. The cost can add up. This year, one of the things that we did for our best referral sources was to send money trees through Harry and David. That was great because it was low maintenance. I didn't have to do a whole lot except for identify these people. And that's one of the questions that a lot of attorneys ask. How do I identify who I should be thanking, who I should be sending gifts to? And there's a difference between who am I sending a Christmas card to and who am I sending $100 gift cards or dinner tickets to. So if you use Clio, or regardless of what CRM you use, you should be able to export client data. And if you export your client data, then you can sort it by things like dollars spent in the last several years. And you can identify those people that spent the most money with your firm, or were right in that sweet spot, a bracket of where you want to be paying, or you want, let's say your ideal client spends, I don't know, $10,000 with you. And you don't really want the cases where they spend $100,000 with you. You don't want to track those. So if you export all of your client data and you sort it by client spend, you can find the sweet spot of the people that you really want to target and you really want to thank. Now, ideally, your CRM, whether it be Clio or we also use Infusionsoft or QuickBooks, will also have address data in it. And part of this process that we go through every year of sending gifts is also the time when we update our database. When we find the email addresses, when we find the physical addresses, and this is some of your most valuable information, So we know definitively, after looking at a lot of data, that our best clients come from referrals, either former clients or other attorneys. So having the information of these people is gold. It is worth your time, even though it's a little bit tedious to find the addresses, to make sure they're up to date, to make sure that they're formatted in your CRM correctly. That way when you export it, you can put it into a mail merge and make it work. So set aside some time to get that and do that right. So we already talked about clients. You're going to export it, look at the spot that you want, and then determine who you're going to send what to. You'd like it to be personal and not something that everybody else sends. Personally, I think Christmas cards are lovely, but I get so many of them that they lose their effectiveness. If I get a Thanksgiving card, like I did from a friend of mine in Utah who sent it with a recipe, it was the only Thanksgiving card I got, and so it stuck out. It was a little bit more memorable. Or you can send a Happy New Year's card. That's what we did last year. First of all, because we were a little late, and second of all, because I didn't need to compete with everybody else that was sending things for Christmas, and I could send a Happy New Year card talking about what's to come in the coming year. So who else should you be thanking? Anyone that leaves you an online referral deserves to be in your VIP program. Online reviews are gold, and those people are clearly actually promoters. So you're going to want to take the time to make sure you find out who they are, put them in that database of VIPs, and thank them. And then referral sources. So referral sources you should be able to determine similarly to how you determine your clients. Somewhere this data should be tracked, either a lead sheet, intake software. We use Infusionsoft, also Clio, also Acuity. And you can get this data out of your various CRMs to find out who is sending you business. We've already talked about how valuable those people are. And then you want to think, okay, how many are there? How many referral sources do you have that send you 2, 3, 4, 5 cases a year? Or who send you 1 case a year, but they're very lucrative, valuable cases? Take a little bit of time to think about what might be a great gift for this person. You can probably do better than pears from Henry and David, or chocolates or popcorn. You can probably do better than that. And I don't recommend that you send branded swag. My branded swag is not a gift. It's an advertisement. And it's sort of, to me, mixing apples and oranges and kind of a slap in the face. So I do not recommend that you send branded, water bottles or t-shirts to your favorite referral sources. Then you're saying, here's a gift I'm asking you to advertise for me. But if you think, what is it that I can get them that's going to be special and going to be memorable? Because the point of giving this gift is to genuinely thank them with something that they're going to appreciate and enjoy, so that you continue to be their favorite referral source. Make no mistake about it. Maybe it's, one of our people sends a little Starbucks card with, hey, I'd love to get together for coffee, but until then, enjoy this cup of coffee on me. That's a lovely little token. I've also sent gifts to OpenTable. OpenTable is a fantastic website where people can choose the restaurant of their choice, but you're giving them a restaurant gift card. I mean, who doesn't like to eat? Concert tickets are great. All sorts of options. CDs, books. Books are fabulous. Some of the best things that I've gotten from my mentors have been books. And then let's talk about the hardest people to buy for, employees. I think I've said this before, but I really think of my employees a little bit like kids. I want to take care of them. I want them to be happy. And with employees, you have some options. Some people do cash. Who doesn't like money? Money is great. But one of the things you might consider doing is have your employees take the love language quiz to find out what is their language of appreciation. Because some people, because depending on what their language of appreciation is, may impact the type of gift you decide to get them. What I have done in the past is really individual gifts for people based on what I know about them. I know these people really well. I spend a lot of time with them. And so I try to get them things that will be useful to them, or that will matter to them, or that will be valuable to them, or that will be received as a deposit in their bank account. That's not always easy. That's probably the hardest part. I like things that are useful, so I have a tendency to want to get things that are useful for other people. But by consulting the survey that I have that tells me how other people receive gifts and appreciation, how they receive appreciation, I can make a better decision of, would this person like a really useful gift that makes them more productive at their job, like let's say AirPods or something, or does this person really want me to spend time with them and I need to get them, something that is an event for the two of us or whatnot. It's worth putting some time and thought into, and it's definitely worth your time. It's going to pay in spades. It's going to mean that you lower turnover, that you continue to have great referrals coming your way, and that you have a great next year. And that's what we're all going for. So let me know, what do you do? What do you do for gifts? What has worked well in the past? Do you disagree with me about sending branded swag? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.